Hi, this is Martha. I'm a clinical sexologist and I'm from Eros Coaching. I have Roger Libby with me, and I'm interviewing him today because he's the founder of the National Orgasm Week. And this is National Orgasm Week. And I want to introduce him. He's a marriage and relationship counselor. He's a certified sexual sex therapist. The ASEC stands for American Association of Sex Educators, Sex Counselor, and Sex Therapists. And he's also written many books, but the two available right now is Sex from R to Zipper and The Naked Truth About Sex. So, Roger, would you like to introduce more about yourself and your work before we begin?
Sure. Yes, I've been a sexologist for about 50 years. I was one of the original pioneers in ASEC, and I have been involved with writing textbooks for university classes. I've had awards for that, and I've been a professor at several universities, and now I'm in private practice doing sex therapy and couples counseling in Seattle, and I have a separate office across the bay from Seattle. So that's what I'm doing.
Wow, that's really awesome. I'm so honored to meet you.
Thank you. I also was the creator of the term sex positive.
Oh, yes, yes, that's really awesome. And I know that Carol Queen wrote a really long essay, a really powerful one on sex positive. And so it's a term that I'm very proud to own also.
Yeah, thank you. Do you know when that essay was published?
I have no idea. I look it up. I'll send it to you.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I created the term back in 1976.
that's great. I have to say that that's when I was born.
Well, you're younger than I am for sure.
Yeah, by a bit.
Yeah, quite a
So tell us about National Orgasm Week, how it started.
Yeah. Well, it was just a pipe dream. I had this idea because, college students go to spring break. They went to Daytona Beach. They went to all these different places, mostly in Florida. And, they had a wild time. They had sex and everything, but some of them weren't careful about safe sex. And so I was concerned about STDs and about pregnancy and about that they not get themselves in trouble with sex. And so I decided to use some humor. And I figured National Orgasm Week would be a grabber for college students, and it was. And I created these buttons that say "I came for National Orgasm Week," and it really worked. I went down there with my frog. I have a horny toad, a soft sculpture frog. She's 5'3", and I dress her up in a bikini for the beach or whatever, and she has a voice in her, and I have a remote control. So we do a pre-sex discussion like at nightclubs and at spring break as two horny toads who just met. And so at the end of the pre-sex discussion, which I discuss in my Naked Truth book, she says, well, we've talked enough, your Pat or mine. And since she's a horny toad, that worked. And so I created the week to just celebrate pleasure with humor and to be responsible about sex. That's all. And I, some people tried to steal my week later and put it in a different month and everything. And that they were all imposters. I mean, I created the week back in 1976.
Yeah, and it's the first week of spring, you said.
Yes, March 20th to March 27th. It's to start spring with a bang.
Great. I really love that.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're the originator of National Orgasm Week. So give us some tips about orgasm.
Well, I think that orgasm is an important part of sex. It's not the only part, of course, and sometimes it gets too much emphasis as the only part. But I think we need to try to help people have orgasms more, not just with themselves. Of course, as Woody Allen says, at least it's with somebody you love. And he and I have had conversations about this, by the way. And so orgasm is good for your immune system. It's a great way to reduce stress, along with robust laughter and exercise and meditation. They're all good ways to reduce stress. And, orgasm is such an important thing for us mentally as well as physically. It just frees us up, and it gets us more in touch with ourselves and with those that we care about. And that's why I think it's important.
So what do you think people who cannot have orgasms should do? Any advice for them?
Yeah, and I do deal with people like that, and both sexes, actually. I had a guy not too long ago who had not had an orgasm or ejaculation in 2 years. And I worked with his thoughts. I'm a cognitive behavioral therapist, and I suggested sativa marijuana, and it actually worked. He had his first ejaculation in 2 years, and then he didn't need the marijuana every time. And I've seen the same thing with women. Sometimes a sativa, I think, is better than indica. Some people think the opposite, but I think sativa marijuana and working with somebody's thoughts and then trying to get them to be playful and not so serious about it all can free them up to have an orgasm, because obviously our brain is our main sex organ. And so your thoughts have to be visualizing what you want, which is an orgasm.
Beautifully said. So thank you so much. Is there anything else that you want to share?
Well, I just think it's great that you're doing what you do. My book, Sexual Choices, which I wrote with 2 other people back in 1980, was a university textbook that had humor, actually. It was the Book of the Year award from the American Nurses Association, and it was translated into Chinese.
Great.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for this short little interview, explaining to us about the National Orgasm Week and your suggestions. So let's keep in touch.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.